Hi everyone, and welcome to the week 6 cast assessment for Big Brother Pasio. So this week Kate won HOH and nominated Kat and Renee. Renee won the veto, Caleb was backdoored, and now Caleb is most likely going home. So I guess we'll start with if we think Kate had a good HOH. And I think that Kate actually did a pretty good job with her HOH, considering how before this she was kind of isolated from the house, and she made a move that I think a lot of people could get behind, and no one's really gonna target her for it. I think now she's in a really good spot. Like when Dylan left, I was like, yeah, she gonna do good. And then she literally snapped one HOH, pulled off a back door, and she's in a position now where she can fade into the background without becoming an irrelevant person in the game.
Yeah, I think it would have been nice to see her push herself a bit more with who she was talking to, because it was very much Jules and Kaylee exclusively. But I think what she did was fine.
Yeah, I mean, with her HOH, it was just it felt like Jules had to hold her hand throughout it, which is fine, I guess. But it's just to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that what was kind of interesting this week is that Kate ran to Jules and Kaylee basically and was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna call all these people. I want you guys to listen in on the calls and basically live react and tell me what to do and say." And so that part I didn't enjoy, but I think what was kind of interesting that happened was Kaylee fucked up in one of the alliance chats. Well, there were
Mhm.
two alliance chats fuck ups. So the first one was when the results were coming out, and in the Argonauts chat, which has Owen, Jules, Yusuf, Kaylee, and Arya, Kaylee was like, "Oh my god!" When it came down to Arya and Owen, Kaylee was like, "Oh my god, Owen, you have to win." And it was just like Arya was in the chat and so that was the first fuck up. The second one was when Kaylee exposed the alliance that is a core alliance, Yusuf, Owen, Jules, and Kaylee to Kate. And I think that was kind of should be eye-opening for Kate. It did just happen yesterday, so I don't know if that's gonna change anything, but that's kind of an interesting dynamic at play.
Okay,
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Oh, Kaylee. I think didn't someone said in a DR that she has the social game of a dead fish?
Lucas said that.
And
He
I
was
think
like,
that
she
that's
has a bad
really
spirit.
true.
Mm.
Yeah. I put Kaylee at the bottom of my rankings this week because I realized that I think that there's two different things going on. Kat and Kaylee keep going up every week. I think
Hmm.
Kat keeps going up just because she's the scapegoat and easy pawn and she's trying her best. But I think Kaylee genuinely is going up because she's just not doing a good job being social. She's literally just sticking with Yusuf, Owen, and Jules and just kind of riding with that.
Mm. I think
Yeah,
it's because that group in general is so confident. Owen, particularly, they're like, "Oh yes, look at us go!" Da da da. Like Owen, being quite snarky about that, but they need to do better because Kaylee, Owen, and Yusuf are all names that get thrown out a lot for nominations by lots of other people.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think Kaylee's mistake is that she thinks that she's just so safe and so good with everybody that she's not really trying. And I think, I don't know, maybe that's because of her old games like Jodo and Kalos. She had somebody that was there, actively protecting her. And I think she assumes that Jules is doing the same thing, but Jules really isn't. And so I think Kaylee is just because Kaylee could be social and do that, but she just is way too confident, way too big for her bridges.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just they spend 8 hours a day on that call. How can you do that every day? There's not enough to talk about. There's not it's at sometimes you have to get bored, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. And I think um I don't I feel like they're gonna get targeted as a group. I think now
Mm.
the whole pre-made thing is over. The whole pre-made versus the other side thing is over because Anthony and Caleb were kind of seen as the ringleaders, and I guess Kat too, of like the anti-pre-made, and now Kat's the only one left, so you can't nominate only anti-pre-made people. So it's like
Yeah.
that's done. Like, and I don't think anyone's gonna like care about that anymore. I think now people are looking at Owen, Yusuf, Kaylee, Jules, Kate as like a group.
hmm
So I don't know. The
Yeah,
other thing I
Johnny said
wanted
earlier.
go ahead. Sorry.
I think Johnny earlier said they were said those exact names as a group, so people are catching on.
Yeah,
For sure.
100%. I think the other thing that we should talk about is Lucas. Like he broke the outgoing HOH curse, which I think is kind of funny because he was like an easy nom for Kate to make. Like I don't understand why Kate did Renee and Kat, who are like the same people who go up every week, when she had such an easy nomination in Lucas. And I know that's because Jules talked her out of it because Jules and Lucas are close. But like I guess that's the only thing that I didn't understand about Kate's HOH week.
Mm.
Well, that's because I don't believe this was Kate's HOH. It might look like it, but it really wasn't. It was really Jules' second HOH. I don't know. It's just like, I mean, like, was this good for Kate's game? I do believe so, but I feel like Kate failed to like expand upon her game. Like, will she not be targeted? Will she be able to coast through? Yeah, but like, she's gonna still be under the shadows of like Jules and still stick in that corner. She didn't do anything to like help her social game beyond what like she's already beyond for like what she already has, you know. No, okay.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I think that she did get to talk to a lot of people though. Like she definitely like got a better connection with Emily cuz Emily like used to be so anti like Kate and Dylan and now she just like is targeting elsewhere. So I think you're kind of right in the sense that like she can like flip under the radar, but I did think she like talked to people and like did improve her connections a little bit. Um
Yeah, I genuinely think that she did what Dylan could not do.
yeah.
Like just put up two
Mhm.
pawns, even if the pawns could have interchanged, but put up two good pawns and then make a back door. And like Dylan just did not do that.
Poor Dylan.
And she did a good enough job, I think, of telling a lot of people that Caleb was the back door. Like, I
Yeah.
think it was really smart to, like, her and Jules and Kaylee and all of them, like, spread it around that that was what was happening this week. So everyone, aside from, like, Caleb and maybe, like, Makala and Aria, even Aria, I think, knew about it. So I think everyone was kind of, like, feeling safe, feeling good, knowing that there was a back door in play, which I think is making this eviction vote easier because people aren't in like
Mhm.
a chaotic shook state. So they're just like, all
Mhm.
right, I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've had 3 days to like become at peace with Caleb going, so it would require a campaign that would reverse 3 days of thinking.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
think his campaign is just not very good. That's what everyone keeps saying is that like from what I've read, I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like Caleb though like is in a position where like even if he did have an amazing campaign, I don't think he could stay. Like the numbers just
I
aren't
agree.
there. So it's just kind of like one of those situations where you're backdoored and like there's nothing he can do except hope for an extended stay ticket.
Mhm.
It's definitely like Dylan, like his game just caught up with him really quickly. Like he gained so much momentum by
Yeah.
week 2, and then he just lost it just as quick as he got it. Like exposing it to people, like exposing the quote unquote pregame alliance to people, and then evicting Anthony and making people unconfident of like wanting to work with him
Yeah.
because they didn't know where his mind was. Like he did so many mistakes.
Yeah. I think a lot of this ties back to him evicting Anthony, like you said. I think
Mm.
had Anthony been in the game, like that would have been someone ahead of Caleb. And then once Anthony was gone, they only like they were like and I've said this 100 times. They were scrambling to find someone else to like vilify and go after, and that was both Kat
Mhm.
and Caleb. But in light of recent events, it became Caleb more so.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. I think if him and Arya flipped and kept Anthony that week, and the same thing happened, like Lucas won HOH, and then Kate won HOH again, like this backdoor target would be Anthony. Like 100%. Like
yeah.
I don't know. So it would have at least saved them a few more weeks, if not like a lot longer.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know. It's
definitely
definitely a
because
mistake.
Jules got in both of their ears.
Yeah.
It's
Mm.
for sure that. And Jules was a very big factor in convincing them to flip to vote against Anthony. So I mean, it just like Jules keeps on hustling, out hustling everyone. It's impressive.
Mm.
Yeah. I think another like dynamic that was really important in this game was Makala going to
Oh.
Jules last week and basically
Oh,
like throwing Caleb under the bus and being like, "Oh, he's lying about his age. Oh, he's really good at games. Oh, he like lied about his race as a joke or like endorsed someone lying, whatever that mess was." And like
Mm.
kind of saying all of that to Jules and riling Jules up. I mean, like I have to kind of say that like this week kind of was, I think would have been Caleb regardless, but I think the fact that it was so like decisively Caleb would go home this week is definitely partially because of Makala and like the tea
Mm.
that they spilled. And I think like fast forwarding through the week, I don't know if that was smart because
Mm.
Makala's like main alliance was Caleb, Arya, and themselves, and now it's like Caleb's fucked. Arya's been outed as a snake, and like, well, we'll get to what happened later, but like Makala's not exactly in the best position either. So it's kind of like, why did you set yourself on fire? And then
Mm.
also, Makala outed the Alliance of Seven, the like Kat, Arya, Caleb, Renee, Lucas, Emily, I think, in themselves. That was the seven. And
Mm.
outed that to Jules, and then outed it to Jules and Kate again. And it was just like, I don't know what the point of that was because that was the perfect opportunity to play both sides very well. And
Yeah.
now it feels like Michael just kind of burned both bridges instead of burning no bridges.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I understand why. I can see why she did it. Like she wants to abandon ship, but it's like Jules's ship is so overcrowded already. Like this should have been something she could have done like week 2, week 3, really like be one of Jules's top like allies. But like she just waited too long that like other people took the slots like Yusuf, Kaylee, Owen. So she's like going from the bottom of like one side to the bottom of another side really.
Mm.
yeah, and then what happened last night is
Oh. Oh.
so Makala called with Kate and Jules for like 3 hours to talk about how much they wanted Caleb out, and then was also messaging Johnny trying to convince Johnny to flip to keep Caleb. And that
Oh.
obviously got back to Jules because Johnny and Jules share everything with each other. And so now that whole side is like the Kate Jules side of the house is like, what the heck just happened? And then Johnny's like, what is going on? And so I think that Makala, like, I just like this week, like, Makala is such chaotic energy, like, exposing Alliance. It's kind of iconic in like an ironic way because they like exposed an alliance, like, threw their closest one of their closest allies under the bus, then got them, tried to get them evicted, and then tried to not get them evicted. So I don't know. It was kind of
Mm.
funny to watch, and I think it's definitely going to be something that happen like influences what happens next.
Mm.
Yeah. I think at this point, like watching Michael play, I think that they just do whatever the last person like campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because like even with the Eve vote, like they kept going back and forth. And with Anthony, like whatever the last person like gave the plea to.
Yeah, and then they voted to keep Dylan.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
it's really really confusing because I feel like they had so many opportunities to put themselves in an amazing position and then we'll just like fuck it up.
But then they
Like
also like aren't in that bad. Like they're in a better position than someone like Kat or like Kaylee who's like
That's true.
actively trying, which is kind of funny.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just like with Kat and Kaylee though, like they have somewhat control. Like they put themselves there, like they had control in the game. I feel like a lot of McCullough's game is like indirect or like collateral.
Mm.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. They had like a really good. They were seen as kind of, oh, Makala's nice, kind of kooky, kind of like funny, and then her like competition scores, but she got like 0 in Scatterbrain, kind of set that up. And then she was like, she just set that all on fire this week, and it didn't make sense.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know if you guys have seen that GIF where it's like that woman and it's like chuckles nervously, what the fuck? Like I feel like that's everyone's like kind of reaction, like okay. And I feel like also Arya's game kind of went up in flames this week because I don't know the details of it, but I'm pretty sure Kate and Kaylee and Jules were listening in on Kate's call with Arya, and Arya like did something or said something shady or that they perceived to be shady. And so they've completely like written off Arya, though I'm not sure if they are gonna like. I feel like the difference between Arya and Makala is that they're not gonna actively target Arya, but like if Arya's up on the block, like she's gonna catch some votes.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's like Arya's game is starting to catch up with her a little bit. It's just like kind of being a little bit messy, not knowing like who is allied with who, thinking that like everyone still has individual bonds and like wouldn't leak anything. It's kind of naive.
Yeah, I don't think people. I feel like Caleb, Makala, and Arya all have something in common where they don't think that word gets around. You know what I mean? I don't. I guess it's because maybe they've never played a game with like screenshots or like something like
Yeah.
that. But I feel like in baby Pokemon, if you say something, everybody knows. Like at this point, and
Yeah,
like
and
I
you have
don't think
to.
that they're aware of that, like at all.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a really good point. I think that they're just used to playing a different style of game, and so you can kind of be shadier and say what you want. But like we have people who are literally recording conversations. Like it's
Yeah.
crack. Like I love it. Like Jules is cracked out of their mind recording every call that they have with anyone who's not Caleb, Yusuf, Kaylee or Owen.
Oh, it's crazy.
Jules
Yeah.
is crazy. I love it. I
Yeah,
love it.
Jules is snapping. Like Jules has so I think Randy, you alluded to this, but Jules got another puppet this week. Like Jules
Mm.
doesn't have enough hands to play with all the puppets.
Yeah.
Like they've got Kaylee, they've got Kate, they've got Owen, they've got Yusuf, they've got um
Makala.
yeah,
Colin.
Nakala, oh my god.
It's
And like
It's
like,
just
Johnny a little bit, like
mm,
sometimes. Like I don't their relationship is kind of complicated, but like I
mhm.
think sometimes Johnny plays right, and they've got kind of Lucas. Like I feel like Lucas and Jules are like each other's puppets, like right now. Like
Yeah.
it's odd.
It's just crazy because everyone's like, oh, Jules is this big threat, gotta keep an eye on Jules. And then everyone goes, Jules, let me just hand you my game and every bit of information I have without her asking. Like Makala got no benefit from telling Jules all this stuff, but she just did it anyway. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. It's just because Jules is Jules. Like, there's no other explanation. So
Yeah.
easy to talk to. You want to connect with Jules, which is like a
mhm.
great trait. Obviously, translates well within the game. I'm just like, I don't really think Jules knows she has all these puppets. Like that, these are
No.
puppets. She
I
really
think,
treats them
yeah.
respectfully,
I think
which is nice.
Jules is kind of like not paranoid, but like very untrusting. Which like after all the Makala stuff, like T.
Who wouldn't?
But like I think Jules, once they realize that they have all of this control, like it's gonna be interesting because I think right now, like Jules is kind of playing like they know that they're on the top of the game, but not like cognizant that they can miss Kaylee. Like I'm convinced Jules can miss Kaylee into literally like self-evicting. Like I
Oh.
yeah, like and Kate too. But like with Kate, I kind of understand it because Kate's only played one other org besides this, never had an HOH
Mm.
before this. So I kind of like I don't know. I think Kate did a really good job for like
Mm-hmm.
an HOH with 15 people in the game and like such an intense game. Like it could have gone way worse, like Evelyn or Dylan. And I don't think Kate's gonna get evicted next week because of it, which is like
Mm.
a major plus.
Yeah, at this point, like it's really impressive if you can have a pre-jury HOH and make it through the next week.
Yeah. No, yeah, like I do shit on Kate a lot, but like she's done what you have to do at pre-jury for sure. Like, it's just getting to jury. Like, obviously, there's gonna be way more opportunities for Kate to really prove it and really do what she
Yeah.
has to do.
Yeah.
So I'm not like it's not
Yeah.
over.
And I think like even if it gets to a point where like I don't know if Kate has like, I don't know. I don't know if she'll like jump ship ever, because honestly, like if she wanted to, she could literally throw Jules and Kaylee under the bus so hard if she ever needs to save herself. And so I think it'll be interesting going into like later in the game to see if she's willing to like cut them to benefit herself, because like right now I feel like those two are a way bigger target than her, and if they're seen as a trio, she could literally jump ship and then like be safe, like I feel like.
For sure. Yeah, this is great. Just so
I
many
think
opportunities.
sorry.
No, you're fine. Sorry, I was talking.
I think what's interesting is like I think next week or the week after it's going to be final noms that are two of Jules's puppets, whether it's Makala and Owen, Yusuf and Owen, maybe even Kay as a pawn, and it's going to be interesting to see how Jules micromanages her puppets when two of them are nominated, but also how it plays out because that'll make that side kind of fracture a bit. I think.
No, yeah, that's so true. I mean, like, it's just weird because, like, we have this, like, coalition of people that are, like, kind of, like, working together, whether they really know it or not.
Yeah.
And then it's just, like, we have, like, Nathan and Lucas and Emily, people who, like, kind of are working together, but they're not as, like, solidified, you know?
Yeah. And then there's, like, people like Renee and Kat who are just, like, very energized now. And, like, it feels like, you know how every week it's, like, some people are kind of, like, complacent, and then there's, like, a group of people who are, like, charging. And it feels like Kat and Renee are, like, charging at, like, Kaylee, Jules, Kate at, like, 100 miles per hour. And it's, like, a bus roaring towards them. And they're just, like, kind of sitting there. It like I am fully expecting to have a power shift next week, and it's kind of
I
fun
agree.
because every week it happens, and it's just like wow, and it makes the pre-jury like really balanced because people from like all different sides of the house are being evicted. It's not just like one alliance dominating, which is kind of cool and rare in orgs, to be honest. Because usually one side is like really good players, like does really well, and then like the other side like is just like not good, like they're inactive or like they're unlikable or something. And so it's like good to see back and forth. I also think Renee's gonna snap soon because like now she has reason to, you know.
Oh yeah, she's gonna snap. I literally
She's
feel it.
gonna
I feel like this is literally just gonna be Sinnoh all over again. I feel like she's gonna win HOH and like make a big move and then like somehow get out of it. Like
Yeah, she's gonna try to backdoor Jules or something, and it's just not gonna work.
I see it.
yeah, and then I could see her like throwing like somebody like Emily or someone like that like just under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the other thing that was kind of interesting that I think Renee kind of snapped about is that everyone every week throws out her and Kat's names to be nominated. And for Kat, it's like they have like whatever reasons. But for Renee, they're like, oh, she's inactive. She's not here. And that girl is here. Like she's talking to people, she's joining calls. And it's like, I get why she's so frustrated because everyone's like, oh, she's inactive. She doesn't talk, blah, 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 blah. And like, she called Kate the HOH to like pitch her case. She's around a lot. And like I maybe she's not around 24/7, but like the inactive excuse is like really boring.
Yeah. I think just in general, Kat and Renee are such pick-upable numbers, and everyone's like just letting them chill there. But like,
Yeah.
if I was in the game, I'd be like, okay, time for an alliance. Me, Kat, Renee, like Nathan or someone should be trying to scoop them up, or somebody.
Or like Monty or like someone
Yeah.
under the radar, or like Johnny has said he wants to work with them, but like I feel like there's such people that like clearly they just keep getting fucked over and over and over. Everyone throws them under the bus. Everyone tries to get them out. And so it doesn't really like do anyone a service to keep them like at the bottom of the house. Like they should be like bringing them in because they'll go up before you and they'll probably go home before you. So
for sure.
Also, Caleb's just put some screenshot of Johnny in the house chat about something.
God. So who's your friend at Johnny?
I'm not gonna throw anything.
Poor Johnny.
What's that saying? Names.
I
Yeah, I
follow.
knew Caleb wasn't gonna leave without a fight. Kind of iconic.
Yeah,
Mhm.
like his interview, like I was like, oh, he's feisty, like, and now
Yeah.
I'm seeing it, like I'm so.
I
Ooh.
think this week is the perfect time for the round trip or the whatever.
Oh, I'm
Like
thinking.
I can just imagine the chaos.
I,
Mm.
But yeah, I guess the only other thing is like what the heck is Nathan doing in this game? Like I feel like every week we say this, but like he's like surprisingly doing well, but I just don't know. Like I don't know if people like I don't know.
mm,
Like what are our thoughts?
At the start, I was so high on him, but now everyone's like, "Oh, and Nathan's here." Like Lucas made this weird analogy about how what was it? Nathan's like someone with no teeth gnawing at your leg. It's not doing anything, but he just keeps going. Like he's just kind of chilling, not doing anything. And I suddenly really, really, really think Nathan's going to come second. I really just see it for him.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
yeah. People just
I
don't respect them. They just
Mhm.
don't. They just don't respect them.
Yeah. I mean, he's playing a lot better than he did on his first two seasons, but like that's not saying a lot. Um, but like he is genuinely doing better. Like I will say
Yeah.
that. Like he is like he has cleaned up his act and like isn't like a huge like usually by week 6 in a game he's like had a house meeting, like mental breakdown, like everyone's going nuts. But like he's done pretty good. Like he's not I don't know, he's like under the radar, I suppose. But I don't know how
Mhm.
that works in a cast like this. Like, I feel like this cast is not going to value under the radar gameplay because there's been
Yeah.
so many people who have had to play over the radar invisible games.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
but I want to
I
pick
feel.
a new winners pick.
Oh, please,
Three
please.
of our
Oh
winners
my
picks
god.
are
Please.
gone. Wait, Julia, who was yours?
Emily.
Emily.
Well,
Oh, that's good.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ugh.
I
that
feel
was
like
smart.
me,
That was
Allie, and
smart.
Randy should get a repick.
Please.
Okay.
I want another pick. I want to pick Renee.
Oh, goddess.
Fuck.
What the heck? That's a good pick.
That's a good pick.
I'm gonna pick Monty.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Okay, Ellie's
Smart.
pick.
Oh, I need to think. If you have one in mind, just go for it.
I don't want to use my brain. Oh. I feel like if I pick them, they're gonna be cursed, and so I'm like very like hesitant.
Just go
Like I'm
for
gonna
it.
be cursed. I'm like looking. I see Lucas winning from what I see right now.
Yeah, I was between him and Emily, so I'll poach Julius and say Emily. I think Emily will win.
Honestly, I feel like Yusuf has a really good shot at winning.
Yeah, like he has
Hmm.
like a really clear path
Yeah,
to
I could
making
see
it to the
that.
end game. I just don't really like it.
Honestly, I
Just
could
like
see
it.
almost anyone winning, except no offense, Kaylee. Or like, I feel like Kaylee's like low hanging fruit. Sorry, Kaylee. But like, I feel like that's just not gonna happen.
Sorry,
Like,
Kaylee.
Yeah.
a lot of people look at her and they're like, why did she win her first season?
Well,
Well, let's ask the person right
looks
here.
around.
Ugh.
No, but I mean like in the game. I'm just saying. Anyways,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I could see anyone else really.
Yeah, it's anyone's game, which is like what's so exciting because like pre-jury
Yeah.
has been so unpredictable. Like we thought Caleb wasn't gonna go home, here he is going home at like week 1.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna make it very far.
Yeah,
But like
like
the
we just
thing
know.
is with him is that I think he did what he had to do. Like I know we kind of like shat on him a lot, but like he had to like tell people about what was going on. Like the other thing that kind of grinded my gears this week is that they kept calling it like a rumored pre-made, suspected pre-made.
Yeah.
Like okay, fine, like semantics. Like I don't think it was a pre-made because it didn't all apply to be in it. However, it's meta when you enter the game and immediately make an alliance chat, which is fine. Like I've done that in games. But then to call in it every night and to not really branch out besides that alliance chat is like that's playing with meta. It's not the fact that there is one. It's the fact that like they all put their eggs in that basket until Dylan was gone. And now they're working with other people, so it's fine. It's not a big deal. But like that's why I think that like the reasoning for like Caleb getting evicted, like yeah, should be because he was throwing all of their names under the bus. But he
Mm.
wasn't lying. Like there was that server and they all did know each other. So
Mm.
The funniest thing to me this week was Kate and Jules insisting to Makala that this pre-made thing was not a thing. And like it's obvious, like they're on call together, calling you.
Yeah.
And
Well, no.
they are working together. They
The
are
thing that
literally
was
working together in front
crazy
of you.
was that they were on call trying to tell Makala that it wasn't real, and then they said, "Oh yeah," in our chat with the four of us, like 5 seconds later. And then they're like, "Oh yeah, we all got in a chat when the game started, and then we said blah blah
Mhm.
blah blah blah." And Dylan was cracked in that chat, and it was like you just confirmed it. Like I don't understand
They
why.
misunderstand the problem. Like people aren't doing like moral judgments of then having like a pre-made and judging them that
Nobody
way.
is.
People are just like concerned on a game level about a group of 4 people. They just misunderstand. It just doesn't make sense. Ooh, Johnny sending paragraphs. Ooh.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I don't know. I just, it's like, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like I get it, like why they're frustrated because they're being targeted for being friends. But like, if they had done a better job of covering their tracks and like not made it blatantly obvious that they were all working together, and like, I'm not gonna hate on Kate, but like she did turn down an alliance from Arya, and like Kate and
Mm,
Kaylee did not have the best social games. So it's like I understand why people would be like, oh yeah, they don't even want to talk to us because they're friends.
Mhm.
Um,
yeah.
so like whatever. I think that that narrative is gonna kind of be done now. Kind of like the even Anthony thing died, and obviously the Chloe and Makala thing died. I think that it's just like a phase of the game, and now people are gonna find like the next big thing. And that was
Yeah.
like big Ori energy. Like it was always the next big thing. Like what's next? And I think what's next is gonna be Makala lying.
Yeah. I completely
Yeah.
agree.
Oh, I see. Looking at the house chat, I just like Johnny has kept on being exposed like week after week. It's like, oh, like, but like it hasn't really done damage to his reputation yet.
Oh
But it's
yeah.
just like another chink in his armor. Like the only person truly playing the middle is really Monty. Like Monty's playing that alley ass type of game, being good at everyone and just laying low until like provoked.
Mm. Like Johnny's really bad because he keeps starting fires, but then he's very good at putting them out. But then as soon as he fixes one, a new one is created. If that makes sense.
For sure. No, yeah, that makes so much sense. Oh, it's really nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I guess that's a good spot to end on.
Mm.
Yeah. Adios.
Adios.